such an asshole.
Hello, children. We got some. You guys are. You're not in good situations. Cappy, I screwed it up. What do I do? I'm like, well, sometimes you screw up. What do you want me to do? Again, we here at Asshole Consulting Incorporated, as if there's more than one person that works here, we don't have a time machine to go back and undo your fuck ups. This one isn't a big fucker. Just already in the morning. God, it's not even 10:30, and I'm already dealing with some stuff. So anyway, Asshole Consulting, where I, America's older brother and the world's only professional asshole, will give you the truth and not the lies. That maybe if you had yourself a chamomile tea and talked about your feelings. Hey, so I've been listening to you for a few months and have to bounce a question off your mind. You're the most qualified person I can think of since you're honest to a fault. Yeah, so we make the monies. That's how we make the monies and then get the girls up. I live in a first world shithole, planning to move soon to greener pastures. But here's my dilemma. And he puts in quotes, I had a relationship with a woman who was already in a committed relationship with a guy. I knew this beforehand. After months of stringing me along, me being a total beta in the process, of course, she is now pregnant and wants nothing to do with me. Hold it. What do you mean strings you along? What? I know this isn't your question. It's fascinating the path you guys go down. Why were you? What were you? Just me. But if the girl is already with the guy and is cheating on him with you, why are you entertaining her as long-term material? Just a question. A lot of guys would argue that you had the perfect setup. Like, you got it all sewed, man. Like, you had the setup. She had a guy. She ain't gonna like mouth off. There was no commitment. You know she's not gonna commit to you. Just you had a legitimate side piece, and you kind of ruined it by wanting more. Why did you want a relationship with this gal? Why did you want to? What? I got this Ferrari. It's perfect in tune. I'm gonna paint a pink stripe down it and bash in its rear fender. Why? What are you doing? I knew this beforehand. After months of stringing me along, me being a total beta in the process, of course, she is now pregnant, wants nothing to do with me. There's zero chance, I promise, that the kid is mine. Okay, well, that's how that one ended. All things, good and bad, come to an end. All things. And that's the way that goes. My question is, should I tell her boyfriend about our time spent together about 1 year? And now you want to go bash the other fender in on the front. Why do you like pain? Why do you like a difficult life? Why do you like headaches? What? Now look, I understand there's a moral question you have, like, hey, buddy, she was cheating on you. Then my question to you is, why did you be the one to enable that then? Why you got the morals and ethics now? Where did that come from? and I'm if I had to go with morale, if I had to choose between morality and practicality in my own life and in this individual case of consulting you, I would probably go with practicality. Generally, I go with practicality because I guess that's the whole thing about stoicism is a lot of times you can't change it no matter what. Well, it's the moral thing to do to go and attack that group. Yeah, but it's suicide, but it's the right thing to do. No, it ain't. You're just going to die. It's going to be a Pyrrhic victory, if I use that term correctly. In your case, what possible good in your life? I know I'm being very selfish, very centered on you. How is that going to benefit you? How? It isn't. If anything, it's going to make it a lot worse because now you got to deal with two people in your life. And maybe I'm just old and curmudgeonly, but I'm just I wouldn't want to deal with that crap. I wouldn't want to deal with that crap. Look, she left on her own. Maybe you're so young you don't understand this. She left on her own. This could be a closed chapter in your book. You never have to deal with this ever again. And here we are like, should I open Pandora's box again? No. No. Should I tell her boyfriend about the time we spent together? No. I'm fairly confident he doesn't know, even though I insisted she tell him many times, but got no positive, definite feedback. Why would I who are raising you kids nowadays? I know, no, I know. This is why I got a job. I know, I got it. I understand. I have no relation to this guy. No actual bro code is between us, but I really feel like shit guilty and an asshole. Then you shouldn't have banged his woman. Cappy, where's the time machine? There is no time machine. The solution, I have a video out there somewhere. It's called The Solution is Oftentimes You Just Suffer. You get to suffer now. You get to feel like a piece of shit. If you cared about this guy from a sense of general bro code, he's a fellow human being. I don't want to be participating in hurting anyone. Well, then you shouldn't have banged his woman. But you banged this woman. You're like, oh no, I feel like a piece of shit. I'm like, yeah, it sucks to have morals and ethics, doesn't it? Um, and now you're in the uncomfortable and difficult position, and you're putting me in the uncomfortable, difficult position of like, well, do you tell the guy so that the guilt goes away? Or do you continue to suffer the guilt and be quiet about it? So as also then not to cause yourself pain and agony. Maybe also not pain cause this guy pain and agony. That's something you got to figure out. Me personally, I wouldn't tell the guy. Me personally, if I knew I'd feel bad about it, I wouldn't have done it in the first place. But I have very few morals and ethics, so I probably wouldn't feel guilty about it. I really am, and you guys don't understand. There's just a few shreds of morality I got. Very few, but otherwise I'm very Machiavellian and very indifferent. Also helps to be a misanthrope. I don't really, I mean, really. Um, I would not tell him for a couple reasons. One, you haven't fully flushed out and figured out your feelings on this one. That's why you're contacting me. So you can only tell him once. You can't come back to me. Is there a time machine to go back and not tell him? In other words, there's nothing wrong with holding out and waiting. So there's that. Two, I think it's just going to make a already complicated a bad situation worse. Um, Technically, this is not your problem. Maybe you should walk away and learn a lesson from it if you're having that guilt and shame. Maybe going forward, you make sure you don't do that again. But yeah, I would just and then the other variable is the gal who just what that just you're now looping a third person into this that's going to make things complicated. That's the other thing is if you tell him now you've the risk with her has gone from 0 to something more than 0. It could be a big risk where how dare you and tires are slashed, there's drama, it's a headache. No. Just I think the best thing for you to do is learn from your lesson, not do this again. Um Maybe down the road if you find out they broke up, then maybe you could tell them. But right now, no. This just sounds like a whole can of worms you're going to open up, and it's not going to benefit anyone. Even though it may not seem like it, I wasn't in it strictly for the sex. Well, duh, you said you were a beta, and I never wanted it to be a long term affair. I wanted an honest relationship. I have a course link below called "The Dad You Never Had." For those of you who are confused about logic and common sense, please go take it. I never wanted to be a long-term affair. I wanted an honest relationship. Yeah, how can it start with cheating? Yada yada. I'm not completely clueless. The fact that the child's not mine is proof of that. I still had some brain upstairs as well. Maybe she's the one that's just playing both you guys, like Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Oh, if you haven't seen Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, it's a great movie. Girls might be playing both of you. Now, you guys are the suckers in this one. I still had some brain upstairs as well. Here's how I see it. On the downside, I'd be contributing to the single mom pandemic. I was raised by a single. Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, you're right. The kid. Yeah, the kid. That's another reason not to say it. I was raised by a single mom. No, really? I'm sorry to pick on you, kid. I can laugh at it because it ain't me. But holy cow! Uh, on the upside, I would not have to live with this guilt. Yeah, yeah, that kid probably comes before everyone else. I'd have to say. I would be honest with someone preventing further emotional harm to him, and just basically basically doing a good thing, well, as good as I can after I cucked them. Should I tell him? Let's discuss the morality of confessing. Look, if this was something where you've done something to a bad guy, I'm sorry, if you did something bad to a good innocent guy, and there was no other, like okay, you bump into someone on the street. Oh God, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I apologize. Okay, so fair and done, and you offended the guy, however minor, you accidentally bump into a guy on the street. Okay, but because there are other people now involved, especially the kid, and good thinking on that one, yeah, just no. This is a walk away. In a certain way, God or the circumstances or nature or pure luck made it so that I think the best moral thing for you to do with this kid is to walk away from it and not have to face the hard discussion and choice of doing that. Um, but you got lucky in that regard. Uh, don't do it again if you're not willing to live with the guilt and the consequences. I just say I don't have a lot of morals. That's all I'm. It helps when everyone gets divorced all the time and is miserable. It really does. When I'm just like, oh yeah, is everybody getting divorced? Okay, well, so the marriage doesn't mean anything. So this isn't like the 1950s where it might have been actually offensive. Should I tell him, discuss the morality, disregard the sin? That one's done and done. Yeah, you can't go. Look, are you Catholic? Can you go to confession? That might help a little bit. Nothing to approve about the act itself now. Is it better for him not to know or not? She sure as fuck will not tell him. Thanks and send me the bill toodles. Yeah, don't tell him. Don't tell him. Yeah. Link below is a link to the course, The Dad You Never Had. All right, let's go through it here. Reed Schwartz at $5. Stellar Blade is selling out in Japan and is in the top of the PlayStation games. Shocking. And Disney had a bad Q2 call. It's a good day. Let's take a look at Disney's stock price. I wonder what their earnings was. Down 10%. Oh, back into the 90s with you guys. Oh, Disney earnings. Do I want to talk about it? Closer to company attempts to make streaming business profitable. Streaming business falls shy of profitability. What about your movie division? Oh, that's just too bad. Colin K, $2. You confessing is about you, not him. Skip it. Yeah, I think that's a good point, Colin. As long as he learns his lesson and doesn't do this again and grows as an adult. And here's another thing about I have done a few things that I'm sad and guilty and feel bad about, but I still feel bad and guilty about it. And you know what? That's your penance. That's your price. You get to feel bad about it forever. There are a few people that I've unjustly done wrong to, and it never goes away. And I think that's the price you got to pay. My truth, the king, $2. Tell him from a distance. What if guy marries? Well, see that it they already got a kid together. And that's why I'd say after, or like you find out they're going through a divorce, then you go and tell the guy, like, hey, this happened. Then you would actually help the guy a little bit, but um it's a clusterfuck either way. Urban Hermit, $2. Like in High Plains Drifter, you live with it. Yep. Yep, you live with it. That wasn't Unforgiven? Was that High Plains Drifter? Okay, that's it. Link below, The Dad You Never Had. I'll see you guys later, Toodles.